Well, hello everybody. I'm Dr. Shack here with Talking Smack with Dr. Shack, and I have a few of my family people here, our church disciples, my godson, my niece, and some young adults here. We're ready. This is gonna be off the chain. Call everybody you know. Tell them to tune in right now. We're live, of course, and we're really excited about this conversation we're gonna have today. I'm going to allow them to introduce themselves, and then we're going to get on and popping. All right? Ladies first.
I'm Tyronica Brown, pastor's niece, a member of the Greater New Liberty family.
I'm Cortiana Stanback. Everybody call me Court. I'm Pastor Faye, by the way. Yeah. And I'm over the Young Adult Ministry.
All right, I'm Rico McKinney. I've been a part of the church, 24 years, something like that?
Yeah.
Frank Ray III, a.k.a. Pastor Trey, a.k.a. Frankly Speaking. I'm back again. And I got beef with y'all folks that was in the comment last time, but we'll talk about it a little bit later, though.
So this is the show where we are having elevating conversation, where our goal is to eliminate self-abuse and to educate self-awareness and to elevate self-assurance. We are trying to do our best to give God's people a chance to be the best version of themselves. And we want to talk about things that people kind of steer away from in the Christian world, especially in the church vernacular. And we think that it's imperative that we would put our fingers in the pulse of what's going on in our world today. And today I'm going to be talking about relationship matters as it relates to dating in the Christian world, in the young adult arena. The things that we face, the trials, the tribulations, the challenges that are faced among young adults. And we want to be real. So they have no idea the questions I'm going to ask. This is off the cuff. We want to be authentic. And we want you to comment. We would love comments, not just negative comments. We want some positive comments as well. But we do want to hear about what you think about the podcast and our interaction today. So we're going to dive right in. I got a big question for all of you guys to chime in however you see fit to chime in. I want to ask you, why aren't you married? Yeah, we right in there. we in there. We jumping right in. Why aren't you married? Frank Ray III, why aren't you married?
Singleness has been my vessel of choice in this life for the extension that I've been here. It's a lot of reasons behind it. I don't know if you want to dive straight in.
Give me a couple.
Let's see. I am a third generation of men whom have both been divorced 3 times apiece. So I've seen you asked. So I've seen.
I did not know he was going to say that.
He asked me to be on. So I'm a third generation black male that is a descendant of habitual divorcees. So that's one facet of it. Another facet of it, as you know, they don't know. I've been through a lot of transitions in life, in my adult life. Once I got to the age where marriage was even anywhere in my vicinity or vernacular, thinking about it, I've been through a lot of transitions, financially, city-wise, all of this stuff. So my life has not been necessarily conducive for marriage, in my opinion.
Okay. Court? Why aren't you married?
Well, if everybody not familiar with my age, I'm 25, so like I just started kind of getting married, as a, on the play. I ain't jumped off the porch or none of that. I'm just still waiting. But I intend to be married. Like, this is the ultimate goal, so that's why I'm not married right now.
That's good.
Yeah.
Rico?
Oof. Let's see how transparent you want to be. A PC answer, I'm going to be honest as well. For me, I sacrificed a lot of my beginning of my adulthood for pursuing purpose and entrepreneurship and things of that nature. As a result, I sacrificed relationship, and I think we're getting to that. And it has been something that hasn't been a focus as of yet.
How old are you now?
29. I know he's
29.
getting up there, right?
Yeah, it's not bad. Still
Yeah.
pretty young. My niece?
Yeah. I have the desire, and I always have had the desire to be married, but I've just run into frogs that didn't turn into princes. So that's
We-
just where I am right
We're
now.
gonna talk about these frogs too.
Yeah,
We're gonna talk about it. So, my next question is, women seem to chase men with cars, cribs, and cash, but I'm concerned as to whether or not they chase character. So, what is it that women are looking for in a man?
A woman is looking for all of those things that you did not name. We're looking for stability. We're looking for a provider. And when I say provider, a lot of people get that twisted where you just want somebody to take care of you. But for me, I work every day, and so I just would like somebody to be that shoulder to lean on
Good.
as far as when I say provider.
Court, what you think?
I'm gonna piggyback off hers. I would say stability, because that's what I ain't gonna say all women is looking for that. I'm not even gonna say that, but like T-gang women, of course, we looking for that stability. We're looking for like that man that has that mentality, that go-getter mentality,
Right.
like. Because at the same time, I'm not gonna keep, pushing at this,
Good.
So,
We're gonna test that in a minute.
okay.
What do you all think women are looking for?
I'm about to say what they saying for the masses is cap. They just got done capping for the masses. Now the special woman, that might be true,
Right.
but I think they looking for a man with means that makes a certain amount of money. They want him to look a certain way. They want him to carry himself a certain way. They want him to have swag. They want him to be popular. They want him to be in tune with his emotions. They want him to be a whole bunch of stuff.
Is that too much to ask for?
It ain't too much to ask for, but it might not be something you find in a man initially. Might have to grow into that. You might have to have some patience for him to grow into all of these separate areas that you desire as a woman today. I feel
Stick a pin right there. Remind me to come back to that.
Yeah,
That
because I'm trying to find the cap.
That we-
That
That
part.
we might have to give him time to grow in that. Remind me to come back to that.
All right.
Rico, what do you think?
First question is, what type of one we talking about? Because I don't know if that you could make that as a general conclusion.
Just a quality woman in today's society.
So quality?
Society, yeah,
If we
quality.
speaking quality, I have to agree with them. If we
Okay.
speaking like a general masses of women, then this would be a different answer.
What are you running into?
I'm in a different environment, but when I'm running to, I think, of course, like money is a big topic. You hear them just talk about now, money is a big topic. You got to have some form of financial means. So I think a lot of people are looking for people to meet them where they are. So if you have a high value woman that's making a lot of income, they're looking for somebody that's probably making 10 times as much as they are, or double as much as they are. If you're speaking to somebody that's maybe a full-time college students on the up and up, they're looking for somebody again that can assist with that. So I'm running to a lot of people that, yeah, I think character comes a lot down the road opposed to initially. Initially, it's more so status, it's more so appeal, it's more so vibe. It's a big word that's coming up in our conversation these days.
So, ladies and gentlemen, this is one of the general mistakes of young adult dating in this modern day world. That when you look for status before you look for character, you are automatically behind the 8 ball. You are faltering from your initial start. Because the image of status can be a falsity. That you can have a guy that drives a nice car and that appears to have money, but he's $1 million in debt. He has no stability. He is maintaining what he has, but he's struggling to maintain it, which means he cannot offer you any stability because chances are he doesn't have any on his own. He looks the part, but one of the things that you need to pay attention to is what kind of person is this? What kind of integrity? What kind of integrity is in his lifestyle? For instance, you could find a guy who has what the world would call a mediocre job, right? but he has the character to get up and check into that job every day. And maybe he's at the ground level now, but he's a hard worker. So 5 years from now, he's not going to be at that same level. Got it? So you may have a guy that's a barber, right? And it looks like that's all he's doing. But in actuality, in his mind, he wants to own barber shops. So he's starting at the ground level, and he's young. He's 25 years old or so, and he's young. He's starting at the ground level, but he's learning how to cut. And he has mentors who's teaching him how to get to the next level of owning your own shop and then owning another one and so far and so on. And so his overall plan. So one of the things that I think young people have failed to do is to find people who has a vision or a plan. And not just by mouth, but their actions show that they are living to work toward that vision or plan. Because if you just judge man by his status and his financial status, his cars, cribs, and cash, then a man can be whatever you want him to be for a day. He can be whatever you want him to be. He can drive his car and pick you up for the next 3 days. You don't know that that ain't his car.
Yeah.
That he's borrowing somebody else. But he's trying to impress you, which is really, really good. Right? It's good that he's trying to impress you. What's not so good is that he doesn't feel the freedom to be himself. And at some point or another, he's going to have to be himself. And so I think that that's the question. Now let's go back to what you said.
Mm-hmm.
You said that she should.
I didn't say she should. I said you might have to.
You might have to.
Yeah.
And I'm saying don't have to.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that I would suggest to young women is stop matching yourself with projects. Stop trying to be Captain Fix-It.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can't fix him. You need a man that's working on himself. And meet him at that. It's good if you can bear with him where he is. But if you start off fixing him, you're going to have to continue to fix. See, one of the problems with women in relationships is that they go into the relationship with ministry on mind. And that I'm going to speak God into your life and I'm going to give you the answers to the test and so far and so on. And when is he going to lead you? And how do you see his own self-help? What is he doing to get himself together? And don't get me wrong. You're talking to somebody. When I married my wife, I was at the bottom. I was at the bottom. But I had really responsible reasons as to why I was there financially and so far and so on. And I had too much pride to allow her to help me. All I needed her to do is give me the patience to dig myself out of this hole. And so I shared with her my plan. This is what I'm doing, and this is why I am where I am. But I'm not going to stay here. Guaranteed, I'm not staying here. So when you go in and you should get up and go to work, and they're hiring at so-and-so, and you should apply for that. Did you apply for that job today? You didn't? Okay, well, I found another one. No. Let him go, fix himself, and if he gets fixed while you're still available, that's fine. If not, he'll be good for someone else. Go ahead. I see something.
I'm letting you cook.
See, this thing.
So the problem becomes, once he's fixed, once he's where he needs to be or should be as a man, now the question becomes, for most, especially the older you get, why you really here?
Why who really?
Why you really here? Like why you want to be here? Is it me or is it what I fix myself to obtain? Now it becomes, what is your motivation for? Because once I'm on top, anybody could. Evangelist Drake said it like this: it's hard to pick the one where anyone will come with you. So what I'm saying, if he's the complete man, he making whatever a woman feel like he should make.
Mm-hmm.
He driving whatever they feel like. He living wherever he can go to Cabo today and take you and 3 more financially. Then the question becomes, why are you really here? How do you know as a man? How can a woman show you that as a man, once you're to that place, that she's really for you?
I think you missed my point when I said he needs to have a plan.
Okay.
She's not waiting for him to attain a certain amount of money.
Right.
She needs to make sure he has a plan.
Right. But most
So
will say,
I'm willing to grow with you,
right.
but I'm not willing to fix you.
Right.
I'm not your fixer.
But in essence, that was still he's still a project at that point, because he's not to where he needs to be. So he might not be a project for you, but he's a project for himself.
He has a vision. He has a plan.
Mm-hmm.
He's putting things into motion.
Right.
That guy is all right to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
He's working toward a plan. I'm talking about the guy who's still waiting on the record deal to come into fruition. That
Mhm.
he a 44-year-old rapper and he's still waiting on. All I need is a break. I'm still waiting on this investment to come through. No, bruh.
So what's a age? A black female news reporter got in trouble. Well, a lot of controversy hit her about last year, because she said, "I ain't dating no bus driver." Like, she didn't say, "I ain't dating a man with care." I ain't dating no bus driver. Just what he did disqualified him in her eyes for a quality woman. So what do you say to, like, what's the age limit? When should he be where he should be? Is there an age limit? Is there?
I don't know if there's an age limit,
Okay.
because certain things happens in people's lives at certain times. For instance, if he's 47, right, he may have just come through a divorce where he gave her everything and he took all the bills. And so virtually he's having to start over. That doesn't make him a bum. It actually makes him quite responsible. That he released the woman, she can keep the car, she can keep the house, she can keep everything. And he's just going to start over. Well, say you meet him 6 months down the line, 8 months down the line, he starts back to dating, and you meet him, and he's in the middle of dealing with that particular situation in his life. He's not a bum.
Mm-hmm.
You just called him at a difficult time in his life. But he has a track record that says, I'm quite successful. I did it before. I'm going to do it again.
Mm-hmm.
So that's different because he has a plan. He has a vision. That's different than the guy who, baby, I'll see you when you get back at work. I'm gonna drop you off.
Yeah.
And I'll pick you up. No, you don't have a plan, dude. What's your plan? That's my point. So it's not a particular status. And then just because you are a man that's reached the financial foundation of being able to say, I can have whoever I want, so far and so on, women, you don't want him if you're not the one he wants.
Right.
It's not about whether or not he can have whoever. See, one of the problems with some men is that they think they're God's gift to women.
Mm-hmm.
And when you think you God's gift to all women, then you already got a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like, bruh, come on. Women, you should not be looking for the God's gift to women. You're looking for God's gift to you.
Mm-hmm.
That's the difference. Because every man won't fit you.
Mm-hmm.
Every woman won't fit you. Get it? So if he's in that mindset, I can have 3 of y'all, I can do it. Okay, bro, you're not for me. Then do you. There are women who will allow that, who will be glad to be one of Evangelist Drake's. Got it? But not one of my daughters.
So that's what I'm asking you. What should a man who has done these things, what should he be looking for?
Same thing, an equality woman?
So
What is a quality woman?
what should be in the plan? Like, so we find somebody we interested in. What should we look for in the plan? What should be included in the plan?
For you or for her?
Or the person that we're looking to build something with. What should be included in that plan? It shouldn't be just self-serving. So should I be included in that plan if I'm now trying to identify the right person to invest into?
Okay, I'm not understanding. Are we talking about what should be in the plan
Because
for
you
the
mentioned
woman?
they should have a plan.
Yes,
Right,
the man
they
should
should
have a
have
plan.
character.
So in his plan, he needs a vision as to how I'm going to build stability for me and my future. First, he needs stability for himself, because I can't be stable for you, and I have no stability for myself. Am I making sense?
Yeah,
So that's the first phase of the stability plan, is showing how I'm going to advance myself. Now, I'm not one who believes necessarily in. I got that question I was going to ask, that I can't get married because I want to make sure that I make a certain amount of money. So far, that could become a cop out. All right, because what's a certain amount of money?
Right.
Right.
What's enough?
What's enough? So if you reach $200,000 a year, and then you say, "Man, that ain't enough," because I want $200,000 house myself. I want that for myself. But now if I'm gonna be taking on you, I'm gonna need to do more than that. So I need to acquire some more.
Yeah.
And then you get $1 million, and you're like, that because I could lose that tomorrow. And then what we're gonna? No, that's a cop out.
Yeah.
At some point or another, I have to consider: are you a person I can do life with?
Right.
Can we grow together? Can we achieve things together? And I would like to submit to you that that's difficult to make that kind of decision when I don't see character. I can't build life with someone who lacks character. I can't, because the lack of character will reduce all of these things you work hard for. Sometimes you know, we say this all the time, your talent will take you places that your character can't keep you.
Yeah.
Well, God allow you to reach this level, but your character is so shot that you got holes in your pocket. So you keep losing all the things you have because you have poor character. And if you have poor character, you can't sit in certain rooms for long. You will seep out.
Yeah.
Get it? So in those plans, I think you gotta have a foundation of how am I going to develop stability? How have I educated myself? One of the things that I was going to ask you all, we got to make sure that you put the necessary work in as an individual. The necessary work is, have you gotten the counseling you need to deal with matters of your past that you just been trying to skirt around or disregard? But in actuality, they come back up. When you meet somebody that you really care about, they come back up because you didn't put the necessary work in to get the healing you need, so that you could show up the best version of yourself.
Right, because anything can trigger you, right?
Right. And if you, sometimes in counseling you'll learn that you may not get rid of how you feel, but you can begin to recognize what your triggers are.
Yeah.
And then you can educate the person that you're about to do life with as to these things trigger me.
Yeah.
These things have me concerned because I've been hurt this way before. When you move like this,
That's just a result. Yeah.
that triggers me. And you need to know before we get so deep involved, are you able to handle this part of me? Because no fish come clean,
Yeah.
right? All of us got dirt. All of us got baggage. All of us got issues. One of the things that before you decide to get married, handle as many of your issues as you possibly can. Put in the necessary work before you go trying to fix everybody else. That's why I say you got to be careful. When I meet a project and I'm busy fixing them, oftentimes I spend no time working on me. So now that person will always be the problem. Everything that happens is because of them. But that's usually because we didn't put in the necessary work to handle ourselves.
Yeah.
But I also think that goes in tune with being intentional and kind of just going with the flow. And I feel like that's like a big norm in like dating in our generation too. Like a lot of men just like to go with the flow of things and versus like being intentional, like this is what I want, this is what I'm working towards. Like I guess when you say the plan and the vision.
It's just trying to go on with the flow.
Are you saying?
Yeah.
Are you saying with you? Are you saying like in dating a woman, he's just going with the flow, or just going with the flow in life?
And dating, like going with the flow.
Yeah. So, okay. So when you start dating, how do you think it should flow if he's being intentional? If a man approaches you and y'all pass the talking stage, y'all acknowledge y'all like each other, what does being intentional look like for you?
What is it that you want? What is your intentions with me? Because we can't just be dating forever.
Is there a time frame he should know this by?
I'm not gonna put a time frame. Okay, you need to know what you want by then, but it's like just have some like intent. Like okay, we passed. You said the talking stage, right? So what we doing now?
So what it look like? I'm asking. So what does his intentions look like? What does when you say a man? When you think a man who's being intentional about me, what does he look like?
Like he's taking the steps like to okay, we passed this talking stage. Is marriage even a question in this? Like, do you see yourself being married? Like, do you want to be married? Because some men don't want to be married.
So you're gonna go from talking to engage?
Oh my God.
No,
You gotta have
let me help.
discussions.
All right. Yeah.
You gotta
Go
have-
ahead.
All right.
I was just gonna say you have to have those discussions because I done found myself in situations like that where for me, straight off the hip, I'm coming in like I want this, I want that, I want this, but he always says don't go straight in telling them what you want because they're gonna give you what you want, what you're telling them you want, but you're not getting the full person.
Most men date with agendas.
Yeah.
All right, and his agenda is made on sight.
Yeah, they know what they want.
When he see you, he has an agenda.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. He starts off with Rico smiling because he know he's telling the truth. He starts off with an agenda. After talking with you, after conversating and seeing how you carry yourself, his agenda begins to change because he sees, is this quality
Right.
or is this going to be what I'm used to doing? She want what I want out of it. All right. If we just doing that, cool. We just doing that. But when he see quality, he understands I got to step to her differently. Now he makes up his mind whether or not I'm at that point in my life where I'm willing to behave as if we're moving to something that's a little more stable than we just smash. Right? So he moves in his mind. Now he starts to treat you accordingly.
Or run.
Or he runs. Right. Because he says, I'm not at that point in my life. Where men are not intentional is that in the honesty of being able to say, and I'll tell you why. Because when you're that beautiful, when you're that fine, in his mind, I want to always keep a door open so that whenever I get ready for that point, I can still go back and shoot my shot. Say, hey, I'm at a better place now in my life. You don't want to know if we still got a chance to talk, sit down, have a conversation, so on and so on and so on. And if you are like, well, yeah, I was interested in you then, I'm still interested in you now. That's what he banking on. But if you're like, no, you missed your shot. But you gotta have both parties gotta know where we are in life. So here's a question I got for y'all, because it's leading up to that. Who should make the first move?
In what?
We were taught the male should, but nowadays we going out.
If two consenting adults lay eyes upon each other and they think that they're interested in one another, who should make the first move?
Is it more important who should take the first move, or is it more important who should lead?
Well, we'll get to the leadership. See,
I think we define taking the first shot or making the first move with leading the actual whole.
Yeah, a lot
It's
of
a
Christian
difference.
women have that stance. You're supposed to be the man. You're supposed to be the leader. You're supposed to make the first
Well,
move.
let me say this first. So when I hear women or men talking about, can I lead her? I don't even know you. So for me to be pondering whether or not you can lead me or not, and stuff, I don't even know you, sir.
I agree.
So leadership is not in my mind right now.
Right.
Right now, all I'm trying to do is, can you have a logical conversation for me to be able to just have conversation with you? The leadership part of my life, I'm doing me right now. I'm taking care of me. You're taking care of you right now. I want to know, can we have enough conversation? And when we get to the point where it's time for me to decide whether you can lead me or not, I'll let you know. But right now, I'm just saying, off initial sight, you all at the same location, wherever that is, and there's a natural attraction to one another. Who should make the first move?
I think it boils down to your communication style, but I think today, I don't think it should matter. I think we get too caught up in who should make the first move, because one thing that we are prisoners of today and we suffer from is exposure. Our exposure now is a false reality because we see so much. And so you got a guy that may see 10 people that he's interested on a daily basis, vice versa. So you walk by, he's not as motivated to...
Hold on.
I'm getting to
You say he might see 10 people.
We got exposure. I'm being modest. That we completely honest.
He might see 10 people he interested in.
On social media, I see
on a day
20 scrolling.
Yeah, you go to your Explore page. You see
On my
100,
stories,
right?
I see 100. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
What's wrong with y'all?
This
What
is
you
the
mean?
reality we live in. That's the reality we live in today. So, and vice versa.
You see 100 people you're
That's
interested in.
So,
I can't
I'm
say
saying, if we just saying initial attraction,
I'm
fine.
not saying like you want to. Yeah.
Really.
So, are y'all saying
Yeah, a daily. Yo,
We are
be
visual
honest.
creatures.
Come on now,
I
be
see
honest.
100 fine women
Be
a
honest.
day on social media.
Yeah.
There's a difference in seeing an attractive woman
Yeah.
and being interested
Oh, sure,
in
sure.
a
What
woman.
I'm saying is,
But you said that I'm interested in.
okay.
I'm not talking about that they're attractive.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see attractive women,
Yeah.
but I see attractive women all the time.
Right.
You see 100 attractive women a day that if you was in the room with, you would probably be interested.
and we saying, but here's the thing.
We need to have a whole other conversation. man.
The initial peak of interest is to see how do I want to pursue, right? I may say
Just
hello.
off a physical look.
Yeah, I mean that's how we got to go from. 'cause we don't
Right,
know-
I agree.
Yeah,
I
so
agree.
if I see you at a store, I may initiate a conversation to see if it's something beyond the look. So that's what the initial conversation. I think we put too much expectation on the initial look, the initial conversation starter.
But who should make the first move?
I don't
She-
think
if
it,
she
it
sees
doesn't
something-
matter.
It
You
doesn't matter to you.
Make
It
yourself
should not
approachable.
matter.
It doesn't matter to
Yeah,
you.
sometimes
It should
just a
not
look.
matter.
I'm interested. They give
You
a
miss
look.
100% of the shots you don't take.
Yeah. I don't think it matters.
On both ends.
I was suggest you shouldn't be making 100 shots.
On both ends.
You gotta be selective in this thing, man. This I'm concerned about. Y'all see 100 women and y'all want
It
to shoot
is
at
what it is.
100 like chicka-pow, chicka-pow, chicka-pow. Like, one of these guys gonna land. No, man, it's like, hey.
It ain't like back in the day no more, Pop.
You may got 5
We
in
don't.
your inbox.
We not going to the grocery store hollering at nobody. We not like.
I understand that
the-
social media is a great platform
Yeah.
for you all to meet people and so far and so on. But what I'm telling you is, everybody fine can't be your kind.
Sure, but if we talking about initial
Right.
attraction,
So that's what I'm saying. So if you see a girl that may have a pretty face and a nice body,
Yeah.
right? But just because she got a pretty face and a nice body, if her stomach out and all, don't you have something that said no? I'm not interested in. She's beautiful, but I'm not interested in a woman who presents themselves like that.
sure.
Or if they're beautiful, they're beautiful. I teach her how to dress.
No. No, that's not what we say.
Yeah, I don't think.
But there are millions of people on social media that you could be exposed to on a daily just by happenstance. Like you're going to see, and
I'm
the
worried about y'all.
algorithm
We're not
is
knocking
going
on
to
every
show
door.
you what you like.
We're not knocking on every door. We see it,
Yeah.
but we have a filter. To
Trey knocking on every door.
No, you no.
But I don't know if Trey is talking about social media or
That's
in
the problem.
person.
both.
It's life. You're in social media and you're in person every day.
So you
So-
shooting your shot is
He's
like
not.
I
what it
didn't-
is.
I didn't say I was shooting nothing. I said that I would.
You said that you would.
Yeah, I'm saying you're exposed to this many people a day. You said that you're exposed to a day.
Right.
Yeah, you're exposed to this many people.
Yeah, I understand. You see hundreds of people
Yeah.
And
a
you
day.
may have 5 in your inbox that did shoot their shot to you. That don't mean you responded, but you
Yeah.
have that every single day. Vice versa.
Yeah.
It's
You know who-
so on both sides. The person that you're interested in, 10 other people are interested in her as well, and she got people in her inbox trying to get with her. Vice versa. So what I'm saying is, I brought it up to just to say that we don't have the luxury of trying to wait on her to hit me up or him to hit me up because they have so much. They clouded by exposure. That's what I'm saying. We expose it so much, so we live in this delusional world that I can get anything I want anytime. It's not the
Facts.
reality,
Even though
but
that's not-
because we
yeah.
expose it so much, because we have
It's
so
all
much at our
facts.
front door, we have this illusion that, oh, I can get anything I want. But it's not. Maybe we missing the one because of that. Because we trying to wait on who gets the first shot.
Who you think should make the first move?
I think it's either or. Honestly,
You think it's okay for a
it
woman to
used
make
to
the
be you wait on the guy to approach you, but
Mm-hmm. Court, what you think?
You already know my answer. I don't even know why you just asked
They
that.
don't.
let me
They
tell you
don't
why
know.
for me, Pop.
Hold on, let her answer.
Go ahead. So what you got?
I'm not making the first move. I'm not. I know we've had this conversation that says, you know, if you like a guy, walk up to him and say, "Hey, how you doing?" I'm not doing that. Only because of this generation of men today. To be honest, I feel like most of our generation of men, they already think they the woman anyway. They want to be dated. They want to be this. I'm not doing it.
So for me, the Me Too movement. First of all, I guess it depends on who you are. I have over 42,000 followers on Facebook. I got over 17,000 on Instagram. I have thousands on YouTube. I've preached at almost every city, every church in the city of Memphis. So my exposure level, I'm a sitting duck. I'm in a glass box myself. And so that makes me cautious on my approach level and even my language with women. Even with hopping in somebody's inbox, girl, look who inboxing me. I'm a screenshot away from exposure. A screenshot away. Y'all look at this. Look at him in my inbox.
It's
And all I said was, hey.
it's still
No, you.
at the end of the day.
No,
I prefer the approach, but we just
it's
the
different.
reality is different.
You prefer what
Yeah, if I
now?
see something, I'm going to approach it.
No,
I
because
prefer
if
that,
y'all
yeah.
expecting women to approach y'all,
we weren't
already,
talking about- we weren't
I'm
talking about
saying,
expectation,
but
though.
vice versa, y'all already say women are aggressive. They think they're the male in this.
No,
you
it's
know.
a difference from being aggressive and just making it known that you're
Yeah.
interested.
You can get in the way.
I think that women, it is okay for women to show interest. But I think that it's the man's job to pursue.
Oh, I agree with that. But I ain't gonna pursue if you don't show interest. That's just where I'm at.
What we
right now.
having is they taking what you're saying is not showing interest at all.
Well, again, your pursuit has got to be upon the person you're looking for. Social media has provided a platform for you all to pursue people on their initial look. But at the end of the day, it also gives you an opportunity to kind of dive into who this person is. That you can go past just how they look. What else are they posting? Have you done that initial work? And when you do that, then that kind of gives you a clue as to whether you want to pursue or not. But just going off because somebody look good, I think you got to be careful with that on both sides. Now, if I'm talking to a Frank Ray the third, those with 42,000 this and 17,000 this and all of that, then I would say, if God gave you this great pool in which to pull from, why you ain't pulled nobody yet?
Well, I
What-
pull them all the time. It's just
No, I'm
maintaining.
saying, I'm saying pull the wife,
Yeah, it's true.
not just being able to, because that's the difference in quantity and quality. That it doesn't matter how big the pool is, just by average, the average man that don't preach everywhere, that may not be, he's still coming into a pool that's far greater for him, because there are just more available women than there are men anyway, just a regular guy. So you have to ask yourself the question, why aren't guys finding wives?
They don't want them.
They don't want them.
Right.
Some guys have fallen in love with the dating scene, with the juggling of being able to dismiss this woman and say, I have options. So I don't have to sustain a relationship, work through problems with you. I don't have to do all of that. I can simply change you out for another one.
Yeah.
And then I go back into the smooth selling part of the initial dating phase where we both are happy to see each other until I run into a bump with you. And then again, I say, well, I don't have to. So again, I said it to Courtney or whoever was at the singles meeting the other day, or the young adult meeting. You have to make sure that you don't wait till you get married to practice monogamy. You've not had any experience being faithful at any time, and then you get married without it. You've always had options. So if this didn't work out in this dating phase, I just go to my next option. And if this didn't work, I just go to if I ain't getting what I need over here, I just go to another option. So I can get everything I want, but I might get it from 5 different people. Well, when I get married and we have our first major problem, what am I used to? I'm used to when I don't get what I want, I go to another option. So you keep doing it in marriage because you've not practiced it when you were single. And so that's why I'm saying at some point or another, no matter how big the pool is for selection,
Yeah.
what is my process in narrowing that down to quality, to the one I'm interested in?
So, okay, so this is one of the lopsided conversations in when it comes to Christian and kingdom work that really irritates me, because it's like the automatic assumption is that it's the man who has the issues, and just because the woman is in church, she's got the right character, she doesn't have any toxicity, she's a wife, and she's just waiting for the right man to find her. When the reality is, there are a lot of women in Christendom with toxic ways that don't want to do work. They'll come to church, but they ain't going to nobody counseling session. They'll sit in the pew, but they won't sit on nobody's couch and work through their issues, work through their problems. The older you get, the more baggage you encounter. That it's one thing to have baggage just going under the plane, but if you trying to get on the plane with the wrong size luggage, they ain't even gonna let you on the plane. So it's a lot of things with women, even in church, that I feel like we approach it like every woman is a wife that's in church. That's simply not true. Women are not doing the work either.
Then why are you approaching her?
Huh? Who said I was approaching her? What do you mean?
No, I'm saying, if you don't think she's wife material.
But how do you get to that point if you don't approach?
My point is,
You gotta go on some dates.
That's my point is, you gotta initially meet people. Not the assumption that they are completely together. You ain't completely together. Yeah. Why she got to be completely
just
together?
like men put on masks, women put on masks too.
Yes, I totally agree. But again, I'm suggesting to both. If you don't have criteria for what you're looking for, and all you're looking for is a smash date, then you ain't. Neither one of you hitting on anything.
Well, who said that, Bob? Who said you were just looking for a smash date?
My question was,
okay,
what is your criteria
yeah.
for wife material?
Right.
What process are you going through to analyze if this somebody I want to go further with,
right,
or if this was just somebody I met, we talked, we encountered? Because y'all whole world of how y'all date is disturbing. Because y'all got this talking to, dating, You know, we just talking. That's just my friend. We just kicking it. She a vibe. All that is asinine to me because it's dating without definition. And whenever there's no definition, there's no responsibility. If a guy if he takes Pooh out and he runs into his partner and he says, "This is my friend Pooh."
Yeah.
Okay, that's his friend.
Yeah.
But then, in reality, he wants to do things that are beyond friends.
Uh-huh.
Man, nobody got time for that. That's a waste of time. But that's the arena y'all are in. That you got women and men who allow you to date them for a long time
Yeah.
without any definition, without any expectation. Because without definition, you can have no expectation. If he hasn't defined who we are, and you haven't required it, then you're going to get what you get. I don't have no expectations. Yeah, I can go out with whoever. I ain't never said we were together. I thought we were just vibing. So you got to define, that's what I'm saying, you got to have a process as to, we're just talking. She asked it earlier. How long are we going to do this? How long do you expect? So I think you got to ask that question. Okay, how long is this we just talking process for you? And when he says, I don't know, we just going to fill it out till it comes. No, we ain't just going to fill it out till it comes. No. If so, you're never going to get to know me. Because if we just in this phase, that's how I'm going to treat you. Hey, man, what's up? Good to see you. You all right? Yeah, that's good. Because we just in this phase. We're not trying to go any deeper, any further into the relationship and so on and so on. So I think that you got to set foundations to the process. Because if there's no process, what are you doing? What are you doing? You're just out here wasting time. You're wasting people's time. And then somebody ends up hurt. Usually the woman. Usually the woman. Usually the woman. Because men has a grand ability that their body parts is not attached to their heart. So they can function in the motion and position of I care for you without actually caring for you.
It's some women out here now.
Uh,
They body parts ain't attached to their heart either.
but again,
That's true.
but again,
Some men.
but again, that's usually not quality women.
Yeah. Facts.
So I'm not
Facts. I
talking about
agree.
because that's not wifey material.
I agree.
All right, that's usually not quality woman. That's just a female with a body part.
Yeah.
That's something totally different. Who's chasing them? Nobody.
Yeah. For a moment.
Yeah,
Right.
I'm talking about. I'm talking about quality women. They're really not chasing them. They're chasing a thing.
Yeah.
They could care less about them. They just chase a thing. And once they get the thing, skedaddle. I'm good. Or if you that,
They might get the thing a couple of times.
that's
More than a couple of times.
that's what I was just going to say.
But,
If you're that
yeah.
free,
Yeah.
freely given,
Yeah.
then yeah.
I say what he can't say,
I
y'all.
thank you for your gratitude. That's exactly what he's doing. He said, "Thank you, son. I appreciate it." Because what I said to our women in our young adult meeting is, be careful that you don't get confused with the fact that you're his choice or you're what's available to him. Sometimes you can, because of your easy access, you will think that you're his choice. You're not. You're just easily accessible. And a man will take that all day. But it doesn't mean he care nothing about you. He might even leave you something on the dresser.
Yeah.
But it don't mean he care nothing about you.
Yeah.
And when you're all right with becoming that person, dear sister, that's why I'm talking about taking care of yourself. You got to go back and get some counseling. Find out what happened to you for you to be all right with that.
Pop, how you feel about this? I know the traditional way is that normally once you get engaged, I know we gotta go. Once you get engaged, then you go see a counselor. But you know how I've operated. Typically, before I even get to that point, I believe in going to sit down and talk to somebody, because I feel like once you get to the engagement part, even if you go through counseling and it ain't making sense, because you made this promise in front of people,
It's
now
embarrassing.
you've involved other people, and now it's embarrassing to have to call it off. So how do you feel about? I feel like people should go to counseling before you even get engaged.
I totally agree. I totally agree. I think that's part of that process. So we're in the dating phase, and then we get to the point where we start talking about some longevity. What's your plans for this? Are we moving towards something sustainable and with some finality pointing toward marriage? Is that your plans? And then if that's so, now we're dating intentionally. Dating with the intent of getting married. So now when we start doing that, as we get closer to that time, then yeah, you should go sit down and talk to somebody, so that you can go through some premarital procedures, which is what I try to do with my couples in premarital counseling. I go through some premarital procedures that help to identify the things that you have not talked about. That's imperative that you talk about. Some things that you skirt around. That you have to be careful when you're about to marry somebody who you cannot be vulnerable with. It's got to be one of your criterias. It's got to be somebody that you can be vulnerable with, and that they're not going to throw back in your face. It's, what it is that you shared with them. I think men have to talk about how they got hurt and what they are. Watch this. What they are afraid of. I think that's imperative, so that the woman is equipped with information that knows that this might look like that to him, and so I might not want to do that way, because I know he's fearful of this. So I might want to handle that situation differently, and vice versa. He knows, for instance, if you got a woman who's been abused, who's been sexually molested, there may be certain triggers in a song, in a smell, in these little different things that triggers her traumatic situation, her trauma. But if he doesn't know that, I counseled a lady once before, raped at a young age by her dad every morning at 5:45.
Wow.
Her mom got on the bus to go to work at 5:30 every morning. 5:45 like clockwork, from 6 to 18. She remembers the creak of the door opening. And she knew then it was 5:45.
Wow.
Her dad had a beard. So she can't date men with beards,
Wow.
because it's a trigger. A certain smell that her dad had, she can't stand it. So now she was confused with homosexuality because the smell of a man reminded her of her trauma. So she came to talk to me, and I talked to her on a spiritual level, and then suggested other counselors from other organizations so that she could get the necessary help she needs. But again, these are things that people don't talk about. So when the triggers happen, you don't know what's wrong. All I see is a person who's acting out, and they're acting different, and you're wondering, what did I do? What happened? What did I say? Like, I don't know. And they're saying, just get away, get away. So all that needs to come out. Those traumatic situations that you've gone through, the hurt. I dealt with hurt of my father walking out of my life. So it was hard for me to feel loved. My wife taught me that. I didn't know it. I knew it, but I never acknowledged it and gave it the necessary attention that it needed for me to be able to be a better dad and a better husband and so forth and so on. So I think that those things are important, that you sit down with somebody and have those traumatic, those very serious conversations so that you could get that's what I'm talking about when I say, have you put in the necessary work?
Mm-hmm.
Our time is up, but I got a slew of other questions and so forth and so on. I wish we could continue to go on, but I know some of y'all got to get to work and so forth and so on. But can I get 5 minutes? Y'all got 5 minutes?
Yes.
All right, here's the question, because this is something everybody gonna want to know, right? What are tolerated first date questions?
Look at me.
Hard though, right?
Court, everybody's looking at you.
Right.
Do you have kids?
That's a first date question.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, Lord.
It don't matter. We go into
It does matter.
not initially. You got to define if I want to be with you first.
That's cool. That's
I think that's a good first
yeah,
date
like we're
question.
like. For
I
real.
totally agree with Rico.
I agree.
I agree. It don't matter if I'm not trying.
I don't even know you. I don't even know you. Why are you bringing up my kids?
Because she's saying, I would think she's saying that that's going to be a determining factor on whether or not she want to get to know you or not.
Then state that.
You know.
State, hey, I don't deal with men who got kids. Okay.
But how would you know if you didn't ask? Or
You don't have to
it came
ask.
up?
If that's her criteria, where she says I don't date men with kids, then say that. And then he can say, oh, well, okay, it's been nice. I'll leave the money on the table to pay for your food
Okay.
when I'm out.
So should she say that even before they go?
Right, like
before
if-
they go
if-
on a date?
The initial. Like,
I don't think so, but if you can't say that on the initial date, you shouldn't ask him how many kids he got on the first day.
So is that a criteria for you? No, he can't have any children.
I don't have kids. I'm 25, so me taking on the responsibility of somebody who does have kids is like a choice for me.
Right.
So that's why I say like no.
It's a choice for
So I
everybody.
think it's totally fair for her to say that.
Right.
So you can say that over the phone. We ain't about to go out.
Right.
You can say that initially when you walk up. Hey,
Yeah.
you got kids?
Yeah.
You can say it's okay for you to talk about who you are, but it's not okay for you to get invasive in my life. I don't know you. He doesn't know you. It's not okay for him to be It's not okay for him to ask you on the first day, what's your body count? Well, all that's invasive.
Well, ain't still on no date.
No, you. That's a whole nother conversation.
don't
We about to. we about to get into a part. We about to get into a part 2 of this conversation because that could go on and on. I got some thoughts about that
Yeah.
conversation, right? But there are certain things. What's your credit score? I don't know you.
And we not together.
You want to know that too? Cool.
Yeah. Court want to know that too. Court like, I just want to know, can he get a car? Can he sign on the house? Am I going to have to buy this all by myself? So I think that you got to be careful on first date with questions that are evasive. I think that because I don't know you, ma'am. I don't even know your middle name. You don't know me.
So what are we asking? Like, what's your favorite color? What do you like to eat? Like, what questions do we ask if you're not?
Let's ask the men. What?
Yeah, for me, my goal when we initially get in your presence is I'm just trying to get a grasp of your energy. I want to get a grasp of, do I literally enjoy being around you first? And it's like we work together, and it's just general lighthearted question. I just want to have a good time and just. What do you do? Like, let's say we met at work. What inspired you to start that job? Right? We just start talking about normal things and getting beyond the surface of what do you like to do? Or do I have some form of commonality? Right? And then we could go from there and build from there. And from there, second day we get it's stages of it. We get deeper and deeper as time goes. I don't have to try to nail you on the first initial conversation.
I totally
Let's just have
agree.
a good time. Let's figure out, do we vibe together? Let's bring that word up. Do we have energy? Do we have chemistry? And then we go from there.
In this collecting data age, everybody knows that dating is for the purpose of collecting data. What they don't fail to remember is that collecting data does not mean he's on an interview. Or you're doing an interview. I'm not doing. So I got a series of questions that I'd like to ask on this first, before we go any further, before we decide to go to break. Let me ask you. You got how many kids you got? How many baby mamas you got? How much money you make? This is not an interview, ma'am. What are you doing?
So it's just casual.
It's just casual conversations.
No
It's just casual. All we're trying to do is enjoy a meal together and just have casual conversation. How was your day? What do you do? Do you like that job? Good. What do you do? Good. We're just having casual conversation. But I ain't asking you about your income. I'm not asking you about your are you full black? Do you have? No. We have to be careful because some men and women feel like they're being interviewed on a first date, which is it kind of makes a person. For me, if I was single and a woman asked me how many kids I got on the first date, I am relieving myself of that immediately. If you ask me how much money, again, it's okay for her to say, well, I would like for you to know I'm 25 years old. I'm still at the stage. I'm not really into dating men with children. Because I don't have any children and I don't want children right now. It's all right for you to say that. And then, as a gentleman, he can say, well, that's going to he might say, well, that's going to cut me out. Or if he really into you, he's going to say, what if I tell you that my children are my responsibility? And I don't need your help. That I could do this myself. He might say that.
No, he might say that, but I don't think he should say that.
I do.
Cause
if
that's the mentality though, Pop, if that's the mentality, would you really want to advance with someone who doesn't want to be around other kids?
I don't need her to meet my children. I don't need her to do that. I don't know you, ma'am.
That's why it's not a valid question.
So that's why it's not a valid question. So if you ask me that, if you said that to me the first thing, I would tell you I don't need you. You ain't gonna meet my children. So whether you want children or not is not. But if you ever get to know me, you won't worry about that. Cause I'm that guy.
That's not the reality of all men, though.
I'm telling you, for quality men.
But he's saying you might be missing out.
You might be missing out on a great guy just because he's got a child.
And I agree.
For instance, what if this guy got married, had a child, his wife passed?
That's different.
But you'll never know because you cut him out as soon as he told you.
Do you got kids?
He had a child.
You got kids, bro.
That's your question. And so when I asked that, I feel like for all women, like,
Court, check this out. There are some men, I know some, that their sister had a baby, got on drugs. The man took the little girl, that's really his niece, but he takes care of her.
That's a great flag.
He's got a great job. He loves God. He's taking care of his sister baby as his own. And you cut him out. And he's really a good guy. So that's why I say, meet the guy before you get concerned with all those. If I'm a guy and if he's really into her, that would be my thing. I wouldn't cut her out because she said she don't want guys with children. I wouldn't cut her out for that.
I would.
No, because again, ma'am, you missing out if you don't get to know me.
Let them miss it.
Yeah, that's
Let them miss
it. Assets.
Let them miss it.
if everybody is disposable.
Yeah.
It's the reason why you got 42,000 and 17,000
Facts.
and yet single. 'Cause
Facts.
Everybody is disposable.
I'm good with that. I'm good with that.
Yeah. We getting into part 2.
I'm good with that.
Because now you have to get
You
like
hear me?
Paul and
I'm good with it.
ask the Lord to take the desire for sex out of your life. And I guarantee you're not good with that.
Listen, We can have a whole nother part too.
We can. We need to. Cause
We can do part two tomorrow.
I'm telling you that there's because that might speak more to the problems of Frank Ray III than it does that one.
Nope. I don't agree. Court says she don't want nobody with kids.
She does. She has a right to that.
That's what I'm saying.
She might.
Let
What
her,
I'm saying
let
is
her
men-
live in her
It
greatness.
is men out here that really won't tell you they got kids till 6 months, 8 months in. Like, hey, I got a kid. When was you gonna tell me?
When I decide that you are somebody I want to be in my life.
See, she don't agree with that. You don't agree with that, dude, Court.
I feel like women do better when we know what we're getting ourselves into.
No, you won't even get to know him.
Because you said nope.
Okay, let me ask you this, and then we gotta go. I gotta go. This is the longest one we've done,
We
y'all.
got
This is
practice.
really good. So let me ask you this:
Okay.
what are some questions you don't want a man to ask you on the first date?
What question would be evasive?
Yeah.
That whole body count question, like, what you mean?
What
if
it-
that's a deal breaker?
Yeah, go ahead.
What if that's a deal breaker for him? What if he feel
What?
as strongly about the body count as you do about a child?
And bye.
Bye.
Disposal. That's where we suffer from.
You
Everybody's
have to have-
disposable.
but
Friendships,
where you-
friendships are disposable. It's not just relationship. Everything is disposable.
Everything's, and I've been saying this for the last few years. Be careful when everybody in your life is disposable.
Where-
That's not a reflection on them. It's a reflection on you.
But what's the difference in having standards and the disposable word? Like I'm saying, if you stick to like
Grace.
your standards, you have a set standard for what you want.
Rico just said the word.
I understand, Grace.
So let me put it this way. He should be able to relate, but I don't know because he's different. All right. As when you get to a certain amount of age, when you meet a certain amount of person, one of the ways you know you are really interested in this person, is that you voluntarily render a certain amount of grace to them.
Oh, I agree, y'all. We agree today.
Yeah.
Just certain. There's certain women would have said that same thing. You're like, nah,
Yeah.
I'm good. But when it's that one, there's a certain amount of grace that you automatically extend
Right.
just because this that one.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
I get it.
So you got to find somebody that you cannot. That's what I'm trying to get you all to. You can't throw a blanket rule over everybody's life that you meet. Because again, you'll miss out. If the average laws that women go by now, if Gloria would have used those same criteria with me, we'd have never been married.
Yeah.
I ain't had no money. I had children. I'm struggling in every area of my life. I should have been counseled out off the bat. And this is a woman who had everything. She had a great job, great career, great money, own house, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
If she'd have used those just blanket rules, then your boy out.
Yeah.
But now we 29 years into marriage. We both still happy. We've raised a tremendous family. God has been good because she found a man that she would have a certain amount of grace for. And I found a woman that I could have she didn't show up perfect, but I found a woman that I could have a certain amount of grace for to say, let's get this thing a shot. Let's fight for one another. And it worked. So that's why I'm saying you got certain men will hear this body count and he would deem her as a garden tool.
I don't know. I heard that.
And then he could hear another body count he could hear the same body count from another woman, and yet extend to her a level of grace.
Just don't tell me.
I think that's an adult statement. Y'all have heard me say it. When I started dating Gloria, I wasn't the man that said, "Tell me the truth." I didn't want the truth.
I'm on it.
We're going to create new truths. Your past does not matter to me. I don't care nothing about that. I'm going to love you out of that into your future. And we're going to create a future that will make you never look back at the past. I'm going to love you to that. So I don't care about none of that. I don't care. For me, I just don't want you to have been with somebody that's close to me.
That's my rule.
Don't-
Ain't in my circle.
Don't let me walk into, in fact, I'm sitting at the table with a dude that you done had some kind of interaction with.
How y'all know each other, bro?
Yeah, he just
gonna
walked.
ask that.
Yeah, he just walked
That's
in.
the only time it matters.
Yeah, he just walked in. What's up, Coy?
That's the only time it matters. That's
Good.
the only time
It's good
it
to see you again. And your boy think he finna introduce y'all for the first time. And before you get it out, you're like, well, what's up, Coy? Good to see you again. Like, what? Got it. So
Right.
it's been real. It's been real, y'all. Yeah, this has
Can I ask a
been.
question that's off topic, but it's on topic?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, just one question. I'm interested.
No, go ahead.
What do you feel is your gift? Just as in general, what do you feel like is your superpower? Would it be in relationship or just in general?
My gift is tied to my purpose, and my purpose is to change lives and save souls. So I think in every phase of my life, my purpose is to change lives and save souls. So when it comes to pastoring and preaching, when it comes to the woman God gave me, I was to change her life, save souls. Raising my children, change lives, save souls. Coaching, I'm changing lives, saving souls. And everything that I do, my purpose is to change lives and save souls. So I think God gave me an innate ability to relate to people because my job is to change lives and save souls. And if He didn't give me the gift to be able to talk to all kinds of people, I can talk to all kinds of people. I also think that one of my gifts is to know what rooms I shouldn't be in. There are certain rooms I can't handle. I don't do well in those rooms. Not that I'm not astute enough to sit in those rooms, but I don't do well holding my mouth. So if 20 people in this room and all of them think that that's right, if I think that is wrong, I'm going to say it's wrong. In my opinion, that's not how we do that. And so, because that may interrupt the agenda in the room, I'm just not going in the room. Even if I'm invited, I'm just not going to do that. So, again, because I'm trying to change lives, save souls, right? But that's what I think my gift is. It's a great question.
Yeah.
Great question. Y'all enjoy?
Yeah, this is great. This is great.
Hey, this was really, really good, guys. We've gone way over our time. Our producer, my son, may have to chop this up into 2 parts. I don't know how he's going to do it. We've given plenty of info, but I hope this has been informative. And if you want a part 2 with this same panel, let us know. I'll make it happen. We'll make it happen because I got several other questions that we didn't get to today. But this is what we do on Talking Smack with Dr. Shack. We have real life conversations, elevating conversations, and you've been a part of that today. Thank you so much for tuning in to Talking Smack with Dr. Shack. Until next time, be blessed. Trust God and never doubt.
And if you